Hi guys! Look how cute these little mushrooms are! Unlike most of my pottery, these guys are purely decorative, and they add some fun and whimsy wherever they're placed. My friend put some in her garden, I have some on my windowsill, and they would look super fun in a planter pot, or really any number of other places. They're just a lot of fun. When I take them to markets, I place them randomly on the tables in between other pieces of pottery, and it's really fun seeing customers spot them. They seem to really stand out to younger children, especially, and people that just love mushrooms already. Of course, they have to get some, so that's a lot of fun. Red seems to be the most popular color that people buy, but I would love to hear in the comments which color of mushroom that you like best. So I actually started putting this video together back in September. I was visiting my 95-year-old grandma, and I knew that she needed an afternoon nap, so I figured I would edit this video while she slept. Well, her health declined very rapidly, and she died the day after I got there, so I never really got back to this video till now. She and I were close, and she loved it when I would send her pieces of pottery here and there that I had made. So this one's for you, Grandma. Love ya. To make these, I first started with a big ball of clay. This method is called throwing off the hump, and just start out with a big blob of clay. I did not weigh it out, as it doesn't matter for this. It was probably like 5 to 7 pounds though, just guessing. I took the big ball and I centered it on the wheel. For throwing off the hump like this, like I'm doing here, you really just need the top part of the clay to be centered, which is actually easier because centering the whole big ball of clay is harder. I threw these little mushrooms solid. They're not hollow at all. So I just moved up a bit of clay and shaped the top of the mushroom, and then shaped the stem, and then cut it off the hump. They're really fast to throw. It's everything else that takes forever. They all ended up about the same size, but with slightly different shapes, which I think adds to the fun and whimsy of them. And I don't like everything to be all the same anyway. I threw multiple mushrooms off of the same ball of clay. I really like throwing off the hump like this for small pottery pieces like these mushrooms. It really saves a lot of time not having to center every little tiny piece of clay individually, and I don't have to weigh out a whole bunch of small amounts of clay either. I don't have this technique perfected, and as I said, they all ended up a bit different, but honestly, I think that was more fun anyway, so I'm happy with it. The next step I did was to smooth out the bottoms so they all stand nicely, and they look super cute already. I wanted the mushrooms to have white dots and colorful tops, so I started by adding latex resist dots to the top. After putting down the latex, I added a colorful underglaze, several different colors, because variety is fun. And when I sold these at markets, people enjoyed the different colors and picking out different things. And like I said, red tended to be the most popular, but a lot of people liked the other colors as well. I just like the variety. I think they're a lot of fun. I think a grouping of like a few of these together in different colors is really fun too. After I added the colors and they dried, and then I peeled off the little latex dots I put on, this is the part that was super tedious. And why I changed up my technique the next time I made them. This week I made a batch of like 73 more because the other ones sold. And this time I added colored underglaze to the whole top, and then I added dots of white underglaze and just skipped the latex altogether. The first time I didn't have white underglaze, so I used the latex, and both methods work. It just takes longer to do the latex method. So I don't have the new ones done yet. Keep an eye on those for future kiln unloading. So both methods work fine. They end up looking a little different. It just took, longer with the latex method, but both are fine. After I got them done, I waited for them to dry. This takes a minute, especially since they're solid. You have to be extra careful with this. If pots, or in this case, mushrooms, aren't dry before being fired, they will explode. They will explode in the kiln as the water in the clay expands. So it's always wise to allow enough drying time, especially when the pieces are solid like these ones. After bisque firing them, I added some clear glaze to just the mushroom tops. I left the stem part of the mushroom unglazed. I liked the contrast between the glazed and unglazed parts. And I think it makes it more interesting, and it makes the colored part shiny. So shiny is fun, and having the stem unglazed is also fun, so I like the contrast. After that, it was back into the kiln for the final firing, and I love how these turned out. I really love how whimsical they look with all the bright colors. And I love how they're all a bit different with their dot placement and size and shape. I never really aim to make things identical. In fact, I aim to not make things identical because I think it's more fun. And I'm really happy with how these turned out. They get like a lot of attention at my markets. Some people put them in their gardens. One woman came up and said she was buying them for Christmas presents because she was giving her kids planters and she wanted some little decorative things to go in them. So I thought that was really fun.